continuing here, apparently I had a lot of thoughts this past week. I didn't think I'd have as many as I had last week, but one never knows about these things. We've got to understand that fixing societal ills, as opposed to feeding them, is phenomenally cheaper. That's just a matter of fact. That's irrefutable, unequivocal. And right now, all we're doing is feeding them, sustaining them. We've got to understand this. Who's doing this? Why they're doing this? It's all about money. Money. It's the driver. And if people think, oh, well, we just can't have, buying a whole cow as opposed to buying a quarter, we need money to facilitate exchange, right? Okay. Well, understand the price we're all paying for that. The blood in the water. The bloodied, muddied waters that we're all having to swim around in because of this thing called money, this precious thing called money, right? Well, I want to get off the junk, man. So one way or another, the times they are a-changin', to quote Bob Dylan, I believe. It's happening through God, but God through humans is what's happening here. We're the first line of defense. We're the first kids on the block to change things here. And then God intervenes in a very real, cosmic, divine, mind-blowing, paranormal, supernatural way, because there are other beings in the universe. And this is a big secret they don't want you to know, that it's a matter of fact. This is not subject to discussion or debate. It's a matter of fact. If you read your Bible, it describes this very clearly, that there is other beings. Human beings are not the end all of life, intelligent life in the universe. Okay? So there is these beings that come at the right point, at the point that God determines is that right point. And we just, as human beings, best we could do is just be ready and wanting that time to come. Like Jesus said, he said, be anxious for nothing except the return of Jesus. I'm not anxious that Donald Trump's going to fix stuff. I'm just glad to see something that I believe is very positive. I'm glad that, thank God. I didn't even think Obama was leaving. But according to this guy that Alex Jones just interviewed, he's not leaving. Okay, that he's still actually in a position of great power. He really didn't even, let go of the reins of power in that sense. That he's got this vast influence and followers that he can influence out there. So it's like this shadow government that's just going to resist everything Trump wants to do under the guise of what? God, they've got nothing anymore. I mean, a short while ago, the Ruskies, the Russians, were the commies. And now they're saying that Trump is a communist. They're trying to associate. It's utter madness. The irony is palpable, okay? It's just, the nonsense it's reached absurdist levels. No lambda. I mean, it's beyond the pale of illogic what's going on in our world today, in America, and how they're trying to pigeonhole Trump as a communist. I mean, give me a break. You could say, well, he's engaged in crony capitalism. I mean, pretty hard to be a capitalist in a crony capitalist system and not fall into the muck and mire of crony capitalism. But it's evil, and it's just as bad and pernicious as communism. They're both really bad. They're just ways to steal, okay? One, crony capital is just more cunning, more diabolical, more sneaky than communism. Communism in your face, yeah, we are socialists. We're the good guys. We're the egalitarians. We believe in taking from the haves and giving to the have-nots. We believe in high wages for labor, and we're the blue collars heroes and all this kind. I get it. I know what they think. I talk to socialists. I know. And a lot of them are good-hearted people with well-meaning. So we've all got to help each other to understand here. We've got to meet in the middle and understand who the real enemies are. These are the grand deceivers, and they're very effective. Okay, that's it. Even if they, especially if they believe their master is that spirit of Satan. Money's it, man. I'm the logical guy, dude. I get it, is what they're saying to me, right? I'm the Satanist. Yes, I'm on the side that's stronger, more powerful, because we control the money printing operation. We control the circulation of money. We control life on earth. We control the world. We own the world. We can buy it all up. We can buy all the goods and services in perpetuity because we own the money printing operation. You think that's not vast, unabated, unbridled power? It is. And that's what's going on here. So I'm not, for Trump to fix stuff, man, I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, that's a big deal, but he should start slowly and surely, but understand what's happening here. It is the hand of God is in the mix with the good people that want good to come to earth, to humanity, not just to America, all over the world. Freedom and safety, security and prosperity for everybody, man. That's it. That's the only way Donald Trump's going to be happy, or I'm going to be happy, whether we know it or not. Anybody out there I'm talking to. No, there's only one way out of this thing, man. It's right up the middle. Embracing humanity and rejecting the evildoers and knowing how they operate so that we can extricate ourselves from this mess. Slow and steady. Just you want the evidence. You want your currency to start going up in worth. And that could happen immediately if Donald Trump slashes Section 8 by 3/4 and then takes one of those quarters and starts building houses. So you give people immediate tax break, a big one too, because that's a lot of bread, man, coming out of people's pockets. $50 billion a year for Section 8. So he takes $12.5 billion and starts fixing the problem with that $12.5 billion. And then your taxes go down next year and the year after that. Far better to be named among the deceived than the deceivers. Yes, I would agree with that. Like I say, it's far better to be numbered among the oppressed than the oppressors. Any day, I'll take that. I'll take that deal all day long. And I'll complain about it too. Because I'm right. Because it's not a victim mentality I'm talking about here. I'm talking about standing up for the downtrodden, for those that are having a harder time contending in this evil system than me. People that I admire and respect greatly, that represent Jesus, because Jesus said, whatsoever you do or fail to do for the least of these, you do or fail to do for me, right? So you understand why I myself am a champion of the poor, because I'm trying to please Jesus. I'm trying to please God. And that's a person I want to be. That's a person I have to be. That's a person I'm compelled to be. That's the person I'm commissioned to be. And that's a person I would recommend anybody would want to be, to care about the least of these, right? So when next time you see a homeless person, don't just say, oh, well, it's because they were drunk, they made poor life choices and all this crap. All that may be true, okay? Nevertheless, that's Jesus out there on the street, okay? So when you cop an attitude, you cop a spirit, you cop a thought system, a belief system to have about these people, how to talk and act in regard to these people, just remember those words of Jesus. Yeah, we all have to ask ourselves a simple question. Would you still want to go to heaven if God said to you, no money allowed? Think long and hard about that. The reality of madness is far more bizarre than the wildest conspiracy theory. Alex Jones single-handedly made it okay for real conspiracy exposers like himself to come out of the closet. And that's what I mean about me and me doing these videos. I mean, that's why, I admire the guy. I mean, I'm a lifelong friend, and I just wish the guy would tone down his rhetoric a little and get a little bit of peace in his life. He'd be better for his friends, family, associates, and peers, and the public if he could just concentrate more on helping the opposition to understand, okay, that Trump's not against them, that he's for the opposition too, that he wants to raise. I know he does talk about it though, but more, he's got to explain and spell out more how he hates crony capitalism and acknowledge what it's done, how destructive it's been to our dollar, all this market manipulation, all this price fixing, and how the destruction of the dollar is key to understand that this is a bad thing. Crony capitalism is bad. Really, really, really bad. And what you want is the opposite of the destruction of the currency. You want it to be exalted, the worth to go up, so that your cost of living goes down and you're free. Okay, you care less and less about money. We don't need more money out there. We just need it to be circulating better, the velocity to go up, the cash flow, and that security level to rise, prices to go down, cost of living to go down as your currency increases in worth. So this is stuff they need to be explained to them, Alex. You know, if I was talking to you directly, brother, I would just say it like that, man. Just try to help these people understand that Trump's not their enemy, and expose who the enemy really is, and how they want them poor, what they're doing, and how this is deadly. How these people, if they had their way, they would set up execution camps, concentration camps, death camps, whatever. They would call the population outright. Please, just go. It's for a good cause. I'm altruistic. You know, it's to save the earth. So, you know, go kill yourself. I want 6.5 billion people gone and dead. Okay, George Soros wants that, and the Bushes and the Clintons, and this is what they would like. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Kissingers, the Brzezinskis, all these these out of touch, the untouchable blue bloods, they're too big to jail types, right? So they can operate completely outside of any laws of men, outside any laws of God, any morality or ethics or anything. And they're out there, man, but they're out there. They're in the shadows, and they're operating, and they're influencing our culture, our society, our educational system, the news media, everything. They're very powerful in that sense. And they've got the weapon of the purse, the power of the purse. Okay, that's it. That's what they're controlling. These are the grand puppeteers, and they can hire murderers, killers. They still have this power. They're losing it. They will definitely lose it all completely, and they're going to be banished to hell. I have no doubt. If they don't repent, they will perish. Especially the deceivers first, man. The lowest depths of hell where they'll rule from, and that's why you want to make damn sure that you don't end up. Then they don't have this much hypocrisy in your heart. This much elitist belief in your heart, that you fully believe in equality, egalitarian principles, that you're clean, you're pure of heart, you're willing that God's will be installed on earth at his chosen time, that you're ready to lay all your cards on the table, lay it all out there, and say, yes, God, I want your will to be done. If that means living in a world void of money completely, so be it. Just so we can just be human beings, your children, and we can have all the gadgets that we've invented because of you giving us a brain, you giving us the wherewithal to create all this stuff. Everything we have, all the state-of-the-art tools and equipment is incredible. We could put up a house in a couple of months with a small group of guys, professionals that know what they're doing, using the right equipment. So these high housing costs are all from market manipulation, price fixing, price rigging. It's all these special interest groups that are colluding, for themselves, and they think they're such great intellectuals because they think they're so logical, because they're so pragmatic, because they've latched onto the money, and I'm the loser because I'm poor, and all the other people that are poor, they must be stupid or lazy, or they're just foolish. They just didn't jump on the bandwagon soon enough. Well, still, come on over anyhow, might want to try. It doesn't hurt, be part of my special interest group of manipulating markets and rigging prices, fixing prices, and, joining together with other special interest groups. And you've got all this vast power and the money man, This is where these people are coming from. They're sick and twisted. I want nothing to do with it. It disgusts me. To the bitter end, man, I'm disgusted. I'll take prosperity. I'll be happy to see my standard of living increase when I start seeing the worm turn, when I see the tide turn, okay? When I see the ship change direction, when I see the bind on the collective wound of humanity beginning to be healed, but beginning to be bound up, where it's hemorrhaging, where people are actually dying out on the streets in America, a land of milk and honey. Okay, when I see an end to that, then I'll be satisfied to say, it's okay, Chris. You can put your toe in the water. You can accept prosperity. It's okay. It's safe to come out and play. Okay, but until that time, I don't give a crap. I really don't. I mean, you know, I want to contribute. I do, and I do contribute to humanity. And some could argue what the worth of what I contribute is. That's their business. I'm valuable to God. And just doing these videos and doing them for free is so beautiful to me, so important to me, that what I offer with these videos is absolutely free. Absolutely no possible motivation. I love it. I love it. I mean, if I want to make a commercial for a tool that I invent and I'm trying to sell, that's a whole nother thing. Okay? But in the meantime, what I offer humanity in these videos, it satisfies me, it gratifies me to some degree, because I believe I'm doing His will in speaking out and being a voice, being a vessel for Him to use, because I offer that to Him. I just want to edify correctly. I want to instruct correctly. I want people to profit from the things I say.